Hey, welcome everybody to Online Learning Pioneer. It's a new channel I just started on YouTube, and this is my introductory video for the channel. My name is Merrick McKenna. I've been an online instructor for 13 years, and let me advance the slide here. That's me. I was an adult student myself, and at my 13 actually and a half years teaching online gives me a little bit at 8 different online schools, gives me quite a bit of information about the traits and characteristics of what it takes to be successful as an online student. And I'll be sharing in some upcoming videos tips, traits, characteristics, motivational information to ensure your academic success, as well as just sharing some good information as a former administrator at one of the major online universities. Some things to keep in mind when you're looking at schools, and giving you a little input and my thoughts on what you should consider when choosing an online school, as well as things that you should steer away from. So that's what that's my point, and just sharing the information and making it available, putting it out there, and you can use it how you see fit. I've been teaching online, as I say, for 13 years, and I do it full time. This is how I make my living. I think we kind of call it an academic free agent. I teach part time at a number of different schools, and through that I'm able to make a full-time living. Some of the great things about online learning is, it's anytime, anywhere. Get this nice picture of this palm tree. You may be one of those fortunate folks that can sit under this tree and complete your studies. However, that's not the experience that I have with most of my students. Most of my students are hard-working folks with spouses and children and jobs and all kinds of obligations that prevent them from earning their degree and advancing their career or starting a new career. It's not an easy thing, though. It's not just it's certainly, like any kind of thing that you do, what you put into it is what you get back. I was watching some videos on YouTube from students that kind of blasted their experience and said that they got stuck paying all this student loans. As the parent of recent college graduates and college age students, it really doesn't matter where you go to school. You still have student loans to pay back, and it really doesn't matter where you go to school if you don't have a game plan to sort of advance your career and use the information and knowledge that you gained in that educational experience. You can graduate from one of the for-profit schools, or you can go to a brick-and-mortar traditional type of university, and you're still not gonna get anything out of it if you don't put it into play. It is an expensive proposition, pursuing any kind of degree. So you need to consider those financial pros and cons. Is it worth the investment financially? What if I spend all this money and I still can't get a good job? That's something you need to consider. But it's also the time. I think even more importantly is the time commitment and energy that you're going to need to put in to this process to make sure that you're successful. I want to share a story as sort of my parting comments here on this video. Is I think one of the key traits of a successful online student, and I share this oftentimes with students in the first class as a way to sort of keep them motivated and keep them focused and kind of keep their eye on the ball. One of the big things, the majority of online students are, as I said, are hardworking adults, and they've got a lot of things going on in their lives, and I've been teaching online since January of 2000, and of course was teaching at an online school during 9/11. And this is one of my most moving experiences as an online instructor. I had a student that worked on the 45th floor of Tower 2 on 9/11, and it was a class that all students were required to take. It was an online kind of college orientation, college success type of class. We did study skills and those kind of things. It wasn't a real heavy, challenging academic course by any stretch of the imagination, but it was a class that everybody had to take. And it was finals week during 9/11, and so as you know, that Tuesday when all of this happened, their homework was all due, final projects, what have you, were all due the following Sunday night. As the week progressed, our news broadcasts and TV screens were filled with the news of this incredible terrorist attack and the tragedy that happened to New York and Washington, D.C. I'm hearing from all of my students, and one of my students emailed me and said, "Have you heard from," I'll call her Julie, it's not her real name, and I thought, no, I hadn't heard from Julie, and we're in an instant messaging thing, and she said, she worked at the World Trade Center. And so sure enough, I went back 10 weeks back to the first week of class when students post their introductions and biographies and share those with their classmates, and sure enough, she said that right in her thing, that she worked in the World Trade Center, and I hadn't heard from her. My heart immediately sinks. So I reach out to her. She gets in touch with me the next day. She had finally made it home, obviously stressed and battered, bruised, freaked out, what have you. And we're on the phone. We're having a conversation about her experience. And she's telling me about the ordeal of getting back home after this. And she worked. She had a 2-hour train ride commute into New York City every day, one way. And she had completed. She's told me that she had completed her final project for my class on the train ride in that morning, and had it on her laptop. She got to work late because she stopped to buy a pair of slacks. She said she was freaked out that her dress was too short for work, so she decided to change her clothes, which obviously, since she had to walk most of the way home, she was glad she was dressed more comfortably. She got to work late, hadn't had a chance to plug her computer in when they were ordered to evacuate the building. She didn't really know what was going on because the planes hit 60 stories above her, so that she left everything, grabbed her purse, left the building, and of course, her projects on the computer. And I'm thinking, I interrupted at this point and said, this is a great this is one of those things that, would you like to take it incomplete in the class and finish the project later? And she got really indignant with me, and short and snippy, and said, that no, she did not want it incomplete, and she was kind of offended that I had offered that. And she said, I have worked too hard and too long trying to find a way for me to finish my college degree, and I'm not going to let something like this terrorist attack, stand in the way of me meeting my goals. And I was blown away. And every time I think of that story, I'm blown away. Not only did she graduate from that university, she ended up getting a law degree. She still works for the company that she worked for on 9/11, as far as I know, in their legal department now as a practicing attorney in New York State. But that's the kind of, obviously, things like being in a terrorist attack. It's not something that you're going to run into on an everyday basis, hopefully not, but that's the kind of the attitude that you have to, and the level of focus that you have to bring to being a successful online college student. You got to stay on your game. You got to keep your focus on the big picture, and know that there are going to be things that pop up in your path that are going to try to knock you down and keep you from achieving your goals. But the main point is not to buy into that. The detractors in our personal lives, the little stresses that come up as part of life are all there to sort of knock us off our path. But to be a successful online college student, you got to stay focused, and you got to keep your dedication and commitment. Make sure that that's strong so that you can meet your goals. So I look forward to interacting with you, and I hope you find this and definitely the future videos helpful as you consider pursuing an online degree or being seeking out some tips and best practices to ensure your success once you enroll in your online degree program. Have a great day. I'll talk to you soon.